Hello, hello, hello. Hey, I'm here. I'm not sure if I've got sound this time, but I'm plugged in and I can hear myself. I think that's probably somewhat important. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Well, anyway, I'm here today and I am uh, looking for anybody that's going to come and join me for the discussion on hand today. I have several invitations. I'm hoping Mahoney comes by and visits. Steve, a couple others that had some follow-up things that they wanted to discuss about what was going on in their little neck of the woods. So I'm definitely hoping that somebody's going to come by and see. Anyway, what we were discussing last week, there was a couple of different things in the news that was basically jumping up to the forefront of what anybody was talking about. And one of the things that's been going on, I noticed a lot more reefer madness type of releases, if that's what you want to call them. A lot more propaganda pieces I see on Google Plus and Facebook, and they're coming up from various so-called news sources with stories about how cannabis can be linked to different various maladies, and mostly some reports that are trying to say that it is addictive. And so because even though everybody will agree that it's not addictive physically, your body doesn't go into that kind of a craving for the substance, and it's physiologically undergoing deep withdrawals or anything like that. And they point out that the problem is people that are addicted mentally to wanting it, and so they are then addicted because they're mentally addicted to wanting it. And that's not addiction, because you can go without something and still want it. If you are addicted to heroin, you physiologically go through horrendous withdrawals, physical pain, actual sickness, nausea, real actual physical responses to the drug leaving the body, and the desire to get more to alleviate those symptoms. And I've known people who've gone through serious withdrawals. I've seen people seriously addicted to substances, and trust me, marijuana has never been one of them. And cannabis, marijuana, pot, reefer, weed, whatever name that you want to call it, it is still not addictive. And even the hardcore people that really want to get into extracts and isolating certain aspects of the cannabis and turning it into things that are like they call it glass, and waxes and other substances, which are just concentrations of the cannabis and its available constituents in the plant. When you're talking about addictions to things like heroin and cocaine and other things that people become physically addicted to, it's totally different. It's the cannabis extracts, the cannabis, smoking it, the cannabis vapors, cannabis edibles, however you choose to ingest or get the cannabis into your body, is not going to poison you. It's not going to poison you. You're not going to get the same kind of withdrawal symptoms from your body suffering without it, because it's going through all the things in your body that's getting rid of the poisons. And that is just totally falsified emotional reporting. They want people to be scared that mostly they try to scare people about children. They're, oh, the teenagers, they're gonna try this marijuana and they're gonna become addicted, crazed, animalistic beings, unrecognizable by the people that loved them before. I mean, come on. You have 300,000, making that number up, of people telling you the benefits and the good, and how they've come to live better lives because they're able to consume cannabis and get relief instead of using pills that cause horrendous, even life-threatening side effects. And honestly, I always doubt the benefits of the so-called medicines, other than lining the pocketbooks of the people who are prescribing them. However, the cannabis, the people who are using the cannabis are basically self-experimenting. And those reports and those people that are coming out and telling by the hundreds, I mean, I know I can find 100 different stories right now, easily, about how cannabis has been beneficial. Yet, you don't hear those stories at all on any kind of mainstream site. You don't hear the hundreds and hundreds of cases of people testifying that it's cured them, it's fixed them, it's helped them. But by God, you let one person say, oh, I've been clean now. I was addicted to marijuana and alcohol most of my youth. And they're going to hold that person up as a shining example of the detrimental effects of consuming marijuana. Look, this person says they were addicted. This person is testifying that they were addicted to marijuana, that they could not go without marijuana. Really? But the thousands of other people that are testifying another story are going to be discounted because they found one person that holds up their preconceived brainwashing that marijuana is the gateway to hell. Cannabis is the devil's weed. And those people are basically, I'm loath to bring up politics in general, but I do tend to think that the anti-marijuana cannabis people, as a general pigeonhole, tend to be Republican, or at least very conservative on the Republicanish side. And I think it has to do with that same mentality of Christian right is the how they view cannabis is that it is the devil's weed because by their standards it lowers inhibitions and all these other things that make it so that people are going to commit sin. And that is the holy rail against cannabis and all things that are even close to cannabis. And that is, I believe, probably the driving force between the money that keeps propagating those theories, even though we all know that commercially the real money comes from keeping it illegal, because while people are not using cannabis, are not using marijuana, they're not using hemp because it's illegal, the carpetbaggers are cleaning up. They have, they own the country as far as big oil, petrochemical companies, pharmaceutical companies, and basically even law enforcement, everything from the judicial system on down to, Joe Blow slapping on the handcuffs. They make their money by enforcing these laws that are governing basically morals at this point, because I think everybody knows that there is no physical danger from cannabis, and because the science is basically in that proves that cannabis is safer than aspirin, and so their job now is just to keep it illegal, because there's too many lives that are being upheld by its illegalities. Everything from politicians to board members, they're relying on cannabis substitutes, and so they're going to and nobody wants to hear that. So the only message that they can wear like a mask is how cannabis, marijuana is the devil's weed. Because as long as they're wearing this mask of Christianity and moral right, then they can wield it as if that somehow makes it, that's more acceptable to in mass than admitting that they don't want it legal because they lose too much money. Well, I really don't know what happened to any of my people today. I'm gonna, twist around here and look and see if I can't see if somebody coulda, woulda logged in and asked for a request maybe to come and visit during the broadcasting. I'd love to hear what's going on in some other necks of the woods out there, what people are up to, and what's happening on the cannabis in your hometown. I have lots of people that are on the list here, but I don't see anybody responding. So anyway, well, this other thing I was going to talk about, absolutely, was my friend Loki wants, and I were discussing making some videos to basically show some steps in how to take care of your own medications, how to grow your own plants, and he has an expert little finger in the cloning aspects and the science behind it, and he does. He did a video. I think it's on last week's. I believe I put it on last week's YouTube connection. Not really sure. I shoulda, woulda already had that connection on there. I think I did, but anyway, I'll go back later and check just to see if I did put it on there, and if not, I'll make sure I get it on there. But I want to reiterate that I want to get some more input about the videos, and if anybody else is thinking that they want to add anything to do with the videos. We'd like to get some input on what people are interested in seeing, and maybe if anybody's interested in submitting some things for ideas or their own videos, maybe. I did hear somebody say that there was a way to congregate videos via the internet, and that would be really fun, and I'm hoping that would be something that we could get in a follow-up of what was going on, and have people say, whether or not they know how to do that, or if that would be something that they would be interested in seeing. I'm looking on last week's. Last week. Oh, that's what happened. So sorry. Oh yeah, last week. I don't know what happened. I blew out my I blew out my camera, my webcam. I don't know what happened. I actually have another webcam now. This is another webcam. It's not a new webcam. It's just a different one. I had it on another setup, so I tried, but I don't know what happened. I couldn't get anything to any microphone or any audio, and so I actually, nobody showed up, pretty much like today, and I just kind of like bailed because I wasn't recording anything. That's not very good for a web show, so I just decided that maybe I should not be broadcasting. And I could do miming. I could have done miming things. That would have been interesting. But anyway, so yeah, I'm looking for some input on what kind of short videos would be interesting to anybody out there watching our program. This is trying to get it to be weekly, although I missed last week. Weekly program, and try to put up links. And any other kind of commentary, blogs, videos that people have related to cannabis, hemp, marijuana. Those are the three faces, basically, as I see it. That's my own honest kind of way of looking at it. I've posted that several times before. The three faces of cannabis, which is cannabis, medically, needed and used, medically sound plant material, cannabis. And then there is marijuana, which is, of course, just the recreational name for cannabis, because it's like taking a word back that was evil. And I'm sure there's other people that can relate to certain words that have other images when you speak them out loud, and that gives the word power. And much to people like Hearst, that power was wielded very concisely to form an image of crazed, wild abandon when one was using marijuana. That's not really the case. So I feel like we should reclaim that word and turn it around and use it to show that it is something that we choose to do, and it is a good thing. And that's why I like to say marijuana, yay, let's smoke some marijuana, because it's fun and it's better than Prozac, it's better than amytryptyline, whatever those others, Zoloft, I don't even know, Xanax, this is another one. There's more than one that I no longer personally use because my marijuana makes me very happy. I don't need antidepressants. I use cannabis for the pain and marijuana to make me happy. And I wish that somebody would bring the hemp on down around and let's get this country rolling on producing what could be the world's bumper crop of hemp, which, once again, I'll reiterate an old view of people not seeing the exact pie, the Cannabis World pie, which would be significantly more proportion towards hemp. Hemp is measured by the ton. Cannabis, at best, is measured by the pound, but as common would be ounces. And when you're talking about hemp production, worldwide, we could dominate. Our country, the United States, could dominate the world in hemp production. All things that would be wonderful hemp. Oil, food, not just, and that's not even counting textiles. People don't even realize that cannabis produces its own pesticides, which can be then, extracted and used. It doesn't need to grow all the pesticides in the field. There's the advantages of growing hemp compared to what is happening growing all the other bumper crops that the United States has in its coffers right now is a big difference. There's a huge difference. And growing cannabis could really save our farmers. I'm like, hey, I really want to say, let's support our farmers with an F. Let's support, our farmers instead of the farmers. Seriously, we need to get these people out of our medicine. I don't know if out of the medicine is the proper exact way. Seriously. But it needs to at least concede to the fact that cannabis is a powerful medication that is being, it's really being held hostage because the people who have the power know the capabilities and the possibilities of cannabis and hemp, and they don't want to lose what they have in it being illegal. And as long as they can keep that going, then that's what they're going to perpetuate. Well, I can't believe that not one single person out of that big giant list of people who, wanted to come didn't come. I mean, I'm feeling like, where'd everybody go? So, um, not sure where Loki went. Loki! I wish you would have come because I wanted to know if you had gotten my messages about the video and if you had worked on any more of the video at all. The video, oh, did I not get that list up there? I don't think I had. Yeah, I don't think I put that link up there. I should have put that link up there. Okay, well, I'm going to put that link up there today. Shame on me. And I did have another person that emailed me a question about some stuff on my tray here. So they said, why do I have, they wanted to know what this was. Somebody wanted to know what this was. So I did not know that there was that many people unfamiliar with the grinder. This is just a grinder instead of scissors. I know that I have a really nice little pair of pointy scissors that I still utilize occasionally. But the truth is, this little gizmo really tears up a bud nicely. And back in the old days, I'm going to move the tray here. I just don't have anything else, so I'm just going to use the back of my little. Oh, I do have. Let me get a clean one. This is so beat up. The back of my little chrome thing is so beat up. You think I did something on it once in a while. I have been doing way too much. I run out of hours before I run out of projects every single day. And that's a good thing. I don't want to run out of projects. I have never run out of a project in my life. Oh, look, here's the little graph I have previously. I just found this little graph I have previously drawn that shows. I don't know if you can see that this is a cannabis pie. I should do this. I would love somebody that draws actual pie charts to do this up for me like it should be, because this is not real. This is fake, 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 fake. Okay, I want everybody to know this is fake. I was just pretending. I was pretending. See this? Pretending. Okay. But my point on this is if this is the cannabis pie that I believe the numbers would show, not that it does show, but I believe the numbers would show that this being a cannabis pie, that probably only this small portion of the pie would be representational of medicinal and recreational use of the entire cannabis pie. Cannabis being the plant, So I believe the numbers would show that this small amount is all of production that would go towards medicinal or recreational uses. The rest of this huge cannabis pie, hemp. Hemp, 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 hemp. Hemp. This is what the people, the big boys, don't want the consumer to know. As long as they can keep everybody up in arms and panicked over this, oh my God, people are going to get high. Oh my God, people are using it and they're getting well instead of being on chemotherapy and paying zillions of dollars to the medical community. Okay, so as long as they can keep you up in arms, paying attention to this giraffe of fire right here, as long as you see only this, you fail to realize this. This is the real reason cannabis is illegal. The oil industries, the chemical industries, all of those industries that deal with raw materials in this country, whether it is the timber industry, the chemical industry, the cotton industry. I can't even list the lobbyists that are in there pitching against the legalization of cannabis, because this piece of the pie shuts them down. I don't know if it shuts them down, but it definitely gives them a cold shoulder. And they are not going to dig that shit. So this is what I spend my time trying to get people to look at. Yes, there are people who just want to get high. So what? And yes, there are a lot of people that need cannabis as a medicine. What the industries don't want you to recognize is the reality right here. This is the reality. And as long as they have us hoodwinked, they win. Now, back to my other statement of what I was going to say, which was about the difference of these. These being scissors and used to snip these little buds into smaller little pieces like so, that can be then used to either roll up in the zigzag paper. I'm not sure. This didn't be branded. Sorry, zigzag style paper, and or perhaps in a smoking instrument, such as I have here, perhaps. But I do prefer now, even though I'm a dinosaur, and this is the way the old time people did it. I now do this new style fangled way here, which is much easier, much cleaner, because this is a real mess, getting it everywhere, such as this. And then you got to deal with the paper afterwards, and it's you're losing all your trichomes on the scissors and the paper, and I mean it really is a mess. It's literally everywhere. Always has been a mess. But instead, this is my bowl du jour. I have several things in here. I've got I think a last little piece of some White Widow that I was hanging on to, and some other little pieces, and I'm going to just quickly kind of make a little potpourri. Potpourri, potpourri. I love it, potpourri, because I like to mix my indica and sativas to mellow each other out. I get the medicinal qualities for pain and some of the nerve firings. I guess if that's, you know, the nerve ends fire repeatedly throughout my body, constantly, and the sativa seems to affect that considerably more, whereas the the indica, I got them switched around, whereas the sativa is a little more to my mental capacity. I enjoy it. It makes me feel high. Ooh, that word. Oh my God. High. And being high is not a bad thing. I feel good enough to be up and around and doing things without being stuck in a slug position on a sofa, which is what the Vicodin and the Lyrica and several other things did to me. I don't take any of those things now. Instead, I only use my cannabis here. And so then, anyway, you close the cap here, like so. A little bit of pressure as you push them together, and use the teeth inside to grind against each other. Don't want to grind it too much. And then I actually have, I like gizmos and things, so I actually have a kind of a specialized container here that I use to just empty my little grinder out, because it's wood and I can kind of tap against it and not cause any damage to anything. So I then will tap it with my trusty cocktail spoon. This is my spoon that I use for making my cocktail. Pun intended. Yeah, I got a little bud that was stuck in there. I want to get him out. Pop any extra trikes loose. Try not to lose as many trichomes as I can, because those are the sticky, gooey parts that I want, and I don't want them stuck to the teeth of this gizmo. So I'm going to double, triple tap on it, make sure it's all nice and loose. And then I take my little container here. Sometimes I will just, put the lid on it and consume whatever I've ground up out of this, because I like sometimes a single bud that somebody's maybe given me, or something I'm trying, a special strain of something I'll try, a single strain. So I will then just grind it and keep it in this little container through the day as I'm using it. But then this is my actual storage container. I grind only once every few days, or once a week or something, and so I'll put all my stuff in here like this, and I then mix it all together, because this is my potpourri of sativa and indica blend, and I then use it out of here. I have some parchment paper with actually a little sachet dehumidifier sachet in there to keep this from being too moist. I don't want it to get atmospheric moisture and become wet, which will make it mildew. Okay, so that was, the question was about, the two questions I had. One was, what is this grinder? The other question I had was about this bowl and what I had in here. Somebody had seen this and said, what is that you have in that bowl? So that is what I have in the bowl is parchment paper and a little homemade sachet of dehumectant. I hate using big words I don't know. Anyway, that's what I would have in there. And then, so now just because I'm on a roll and nobody's coming here to join me, I'm just going to go ahead and clean my little own personal bowl out right here and pack me a little bowl to say hasta la vista to all my friends that may or may not come to visit this little video on my YouTube channel. I appreciate any shares. I appreciate any questions. If you want to email me, private email me. My email address is available on the YouTube account. You may email any questions you have or any kind of comments and statements. If you write me something about what you'd like to see, I'll definitely get it on the program. If you have something for any of the other people that have signed in prior to this at the Cannabis Cronies, their comments, if you have anything you wanted to say or add about that, feel free to contact me anytime, email. If you are a nasty asshole, I will block you, just to let you know. And if you contact me with any weird, like, Christian ramblings about my soul, I'm probably going to block you too, just to let you know that one ahead of time. Anyway, so yes, I have my little pipe. This is actually called a chillum, this style of pipe. It doesn't have any carburetor, and the bowl sits upright on the end of the bowl here. Yeah, and I try not to put it in there too tightly. So that's how I spend too much time trying to perfect a 3-hit bowl, which is actually a pretty small bowl. It's not overloaded. I kind of I don't want a big overloaded bowl because I don't like to smoke tar and nicotine, no, nicotine, but I don't like to smoke the tars and the ash and the carbon build up at the bottom of the bowl. So I kind of try to make the bowl so that I'm not having to light it anymore after the 3rd or 4th hit, because it burns my lungs too much, and I'm just kind of wussy. So I just try to make them small, clean, short bowls. And actually, I'm going to actually just tap the head off that a little bit, because it's actually just a tiny bit. If you see it sideways, I don't want to see it crowning over the top of the bowl, and I don't pack it down because I don't want to draw heavily on it either. I just want to get the trichomes warm enough to basically, vaporize without being so much smoke. So I'm going to go ahead and say this is a nice fresh bowl. Thank you if you stopped by to visit, and if you share and subscribe, that would be really awesome. If you send me a request for next week's program, I will be happy to send you an invitation to join. just let me know ahead of time, and I'll put you on the list. So to that, I'm going to chill them. I'm going to chill them right now. This is me. I'm going to chill them. I'm going to chill them with my, this is my own homemade. I make my own wick. This is my own hemp wick, and it's on a video. You're welcome to go back and look through my videos and find it. In the meantime, I'm burning up nothing, so let me get at that. Ooh, that tastes so good. Well, I hope that next week I can encourage some other people to come and participate and bring us some stories or some news or some information. Maybe just come and share some tips or tricks, things that you know that you found in your exploration of living the cannabis life. That's kind of what we're all doing here, is living the cannabis life. I'm not against anybody that wants to come in and share some political brouhahas. I'd be happy to share that, any links that you want to give me, and any stories that you want, blogs that you want to share would be awesome too. Let me know. And so this is the Twisted signing it out. Till next week. Adios, amigos. And, as always, gotta say, toke on. Toke on!